Hey, welcome to my at-home bodyweight upper body workout. Let's go ahead and start with our warm-up. We're going to find a wall, and we're going to do some Ys and Ts. We're going to do 10 reps of each. We want to start by squeezing our shoulder blades back, trying to get our elbows and hands to be against the wall at all times. Kind of squeeze those elbows in, push the arms either straight up or out to the side. Just keep everything against the wall. Really focus on trying to retract your shoulder blades and keep everything in your back nice and tight. Don't forget to breathe as you're doing this. Try to take nice deep breaths in and out with every motion. Keep your abs tight. That's going to help your lower back not try to creep away from the wall. And in general, it's just going to help you activate your abs a little bit more as well. Alright, up next we're going to do some scap retracts, so some scapular retractions. What we want to do is we want to find a ledge, surface, put our hands up there, kind of get into like an incline push-up position, and just focus on squeezing our shoulder blades back, kind of pushing that chest forward towards the bench, and then pushing our shoulder blades away from us, trying to push ourselves away from the bench. You can kind of see my shoulder blades sliding back and forth in the video here. So I'm not doing a full push-up. As you can see, I'm not really bending my elbows that much as I'm coming down. I'm just trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together. After that, we're going to go back to the Ys and Ts. Just really focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together again. Focus on pushing those elbows and the hands against the wall. You guys are doing good. Keep those abs tight. Keep the elbows and hands against the wall. Really focus on squeezing those shoulder blades back together throughout this whole motion. Almost there. Alright, we're nearly done here. What we're going to move on to next is just some push-ups. We can either do some traditional push-ups, we can do them on our knees, or we can do some incline push-ups. Oh, I apologize. We're actually going to do the variation of our scapular retractions. We're going to do the push-ups after this. So this one, it's more like a cat and a cow yoga pose. We're not doing the full body weight on this. We're just kind of making it a little bit easier. So this is the variation that you can do if you found the first version a little bit too hard. This is also one that's a little bit better to kind of help the lower back some. You can see that I'm getting a little bit more movement there as well, as we're just kind of moving through and getting these shoulder blades to loosen up and just getting the core and the lower back to loosen up. So now we're going to go to our push-ups. We're going to be starting this in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Now we're going to start these. And as I said before, we can either do the normal versions like you're seeing here, or we can just do them on our knees, or at an incline, whatever accommodation that you might need. Or you can do a decline if you want to make it a little bit harder. We're only doing 10 to 20 reps here, just to kind of keep the volume, somewhat manageable depending on your skill level and strength level, but still a bit of a challenge. I'm just going all the way to 20 on this. Alright. After this, we're going to do some tabletop rows or some Australian push-ups, whatever you want to call them. Either which way, we're just going to grab onto a table, or we're just going to use a barbell like I am here. We're going to situate ourselves directly underneath it, kind of hanging from it. We want to squeeze our glutes, kind of bringing our hips all the way up, and pull our chest up to the bar. You can see that I'm keeping my elbows in nice and tight as I'm doing these, really trying to focus on activating my lats, kind of feeling this, what I say is behind the armpits, more or less. We're doing 8 to 15 here. We're just going to pause to rest. Alright, let's go back to doing those push-ups. Again, 10 to 20 reps. And just like those rows, we really want to focus on kind of pulling ourselves down to the floor and then pushing the floor away from us rather than pushing ourselves away from the floor. Focus on keeping your abs engaged and nice and tight. And again, you can kind of notice that I'm not really flaring my elbows too much here, so it's going to have a little more emphasis on my triceps as well, but it's also going to be a little bit easier on my shoulder joints too. Alright, we're going to go back to those rows now, getting a nice solid grip on whatever surface we're using. And if you are using a table, just kind of, be careful not to flip the table or anything like that. You might need to have someone sit on the other end of it while you're doing these. And then just kind of pull yourself up to the very lip of the table or desk or whatever you're using there. Again, keep those elbows in nice and tight, feel it kind of behind the armpits, and pause to rest. Alright, next up we're going to do a superset with diamond push-ups. We're going to come down, again, kind of same form as the other push-ups, pulling ourselves down and pushing ourselves away. We're going to do 8 to 12 reps on these. This is really going to focus our triceps, focus on our triceps, and still kind of hit those pecs. After this, we're going to go into what I call swimmers. It's just basically a weightless row. We're going to lay there, squeeze our abs, put our arms out in front of us with our hands floating just above the floor, and squeeze our elbows back behind us. Trying to feel this in the same area as those rows we were doing previously. Doing about 8 to 12 reps on these as well. Alright, pause to rest. We're going to repeat our diamond push-ups for 8 to 12 reps, and then we're going to do the weightless rows again for 8 to 12 reps. Alright, next up is those weightless rows. Again, keep those elbows tight on everything we're doing. Really squeeze those abs. Drive those elbows straight back. Almost like you're trying to put your shoulder blades in your back pockets as you're driving your elbows back there. You should really kind of feel this loosening up some of the muscles in your shoulders and your neck. Great for improving your posture. After this, we're going to be moving on to our abs. Alright, first thing that we're going to be doing is some heel taps for a set of 30. We don't want our head to be up too high. Kind of see I'm picking my head up a little bit high there to demonstrate. I want to keep our head just about where it is. Like I've got my hair in a knot, it's just floating on the mat that I'm on. Really focus on squeezing your side muscles as you're coming down. Again, just like you're trying to come down and tap your heel. Next up, we're going to roll over and do some shoulder taps. So we're just going to get into a push-up position and shift our body weight from side to side as we tap each shoulder. If you find that a normal push-up position is a little bit too difficult, we can just transition to like an on-the-knees push-up, or we can do this from the same incline position that we were doing our push-ups in earlier. We're doing 20 reps of these. Pretty sure I lost count there. But after this, we're going to do some elevators. We want to alternate which arm we're starting going down with. We're going to do a total of 10 of these. Again, you can do these on your knees as well. Awesome. Pause to rest. We're going to go ahead and start those heel taps again for 30 reps. Remember, kind of just squeeze those sides. Don't take your head up too high. Want to try to keep our neck as straight as possible as we can without craning it too much one way or the other. And again, as soon as we're done with this, we're going to do our shoulder taps. Go ahead and roll over into a push-up position. Keep that core engaged and just shift from side to side and tap each shoulder. Again, you can just do this from your knees if needed. Doing 20 reps here. Moving on to our elevators. We're doing 10 reps, alternating sides. And once you're finished with this, you can repeat the video or you can finish it and that'll be the workout. Great job, and we'll see you next time.